Ladies and gentlemen, Shadiversity is a guy on the internet. No, I'm not supposed to do it in John Trump voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Shadiversity is a guy on the internet. Shadiversity needs no introduction, but we'll give him one. He's Shadiversity. He's Shad M. Brooks. He's the guy that wrote Shadow of the Conqueror. He is the guy that is currently embroiled in a ongoing 3-week fight with Anthony Gramuglia, considerably smaller but no less respectable, entertainment, lefty kind of entertainment critic. Don't know. For no good reason. I don't know how to put it any nicer. I guess of all of the people that have been relentlessly dogging on Shad for the last couple years, myself included, for his increasingly unhinged and bad takes and his particularly American-flavored version of Australian conservatism, of all the people he's chosen to actually respond to, aside from Jack Saint one time, Anthony Gramuglia, he's apparently decided he's going all the way to the end with, which is not a great idea because he's just completely fucking wrong. I don't know how to say it any nicer. I think it was last week or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. The last 15 days were just nightmarishly fucking tiring. Basically, Anthony responded to Shadiversity's response to Anthony's response to Shadiversity's really bad opinions on the Superman film, which is coming out. It's not even the film itself. He was talking about a trailer in which he speculates that because basically Superman is beat up at the start of it, that it's going to be woke and DEI, and they're going to do some sort of deconstructionist narrative. He sees that they say it's going to be kind of like Game of Thrones. This is going to be deconstructionist. Oh, shit. I don't think he cusses, actually, but it was a bad look, right? He was saying that fucking people wouldn't like to have crypto the super dog. This is Shadiversity was saying that, which is just insane. I think most people on both sides of the YouTube entertainment commentary sphere, aside from the most fucking audience captured individuals, are like, this looks like a fun superhero movie. If you're into comics, you might like it and you're not burned out on comic book movies. And if you're, just want to watch something because it might be fun, it's probably going to be A-okay. Maybe even good. It's James Gunn. He's pretty fucking talented. But we're in an era now, and I predicted this for a while, where we're out of fuel, out of gas, we're out of juice for the online fire, for rage. Like, people just can't get pissed off like they used to. First off, everybody's back to work. So in 2000, we had COVID and everybody could be pissed off all day because you're already actually mad. You're stuck at home. People got fucking cabin fever and we were all mad as shit, for years, right? I was mad. You were mad. We were all big mad. Okay. And particularly on the right, they sort of perfected a formula that eventually became the Goonergate, anti-DEI, return to tradition, trifecta movement that is now falling apart after hitting its sort of apex right around when I started this channel 2 years ago. At that time, there was a lot to criticize, and I'll give it to him. Somebody's complaining about this to me, and one of the things I was like, there's a lot of, or plenty, there's video games, whatever. I think I should probably have said video games and movies with like dog shit and fallacious, woke, whatever you want to say it, DEI writing, whatever the fuck that even means. But like literally in my mind, just bad writing. There's just games with bad writing, but it happens to come from like a leftist political perspective with preachy moralizing. You know what I mean? There's games that have it. The Veilguard one is like oh my God, we proved everything. And you're like, why? Can you come up with name 15 examples, Like, no, because usually if a game has bad writing, I fucking forget it completely. And I forget most games that I play anyway, because there's not a lot of stunning games out there. You know what I'm saying? Movies, TV shows, there's plenty of all right, I get it. We're doing the weepy fucking break. Can we move on? You're accepted. Can we move on to the next? I don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that there's plenty of people that kind of lost any sort of attraction to that sort of narrative in those stories because it stopped being super novel, especially if you're a person that watches those kind of, or engages with certain kinds of entertainment consistently. You're like, I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of fucking done. This is no good. I don't like it. I'm done. And so you kind of burn yourself out. And on the other side, I guess they sort of won, right? There's a bunch of harassment campaigns that got put together. Woke DEI nonsense, Sweet Baby Inc. You've heard the fucking everything for the last goddamn year. And they kind of won. But also the real reason they won is because people were burned out on narratives like that. and also just being politics all the fucking time for the last 12, 15 fucking years. In movies, on TV, kind of everywhere at all times. It's just, you're just overloaded. So people just don't want to engage with something that's hyper or even remotely hey, do you want to hear a political message, or do you want to do you want this game to feel like it's taking a standpoint? You're no, I'm done. My ideas of what the standpoint should even be are so particular to me now because I've had to think of all of this political shit for the last decade that I don't even, if you agree with me, want to see it because I don't want to see you do it wrong. It's that vibe. Not I don't want to see it at all. Just, it's exhausting. You know what I mean? And selling games on it, selling franchises on it, the rainbow capitalism stuff was not getting a lot of response from other people because a lot of the people that are in the rainbow hate the capitalism. So they're like, well, fuck you, man. I'm not buying games for that. And then it also just alienated people on the other side who were like, I just fucking hate gay people. And so we get to a position here at the end where they kind of won, but now you have to continue a war because games and society and stuff are moving on into Trump season 2. And Trump season 2, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey is kind of the last one of those things to complain about. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. All the games that they've been whining about for the last 5 years have come, gone, failed, whatever. It's to the point where the people that are trying to complain about this shit have to reach so far. They are now doing the thing I actually did predict. They have to overreach and start suggesting that there is the presence whatsoever, the mere hint of some detectable bit of wokeness somewhere in these properties, and trying to presume from start to finish that they're correct because their entire content cycle is I have to piss people off about the thing that they started watching me for to be pissed off about. And when you have to start overextending yourself that far, you end up contradicting your own standpoints and you end up starting to find flaws in things you should legitimately be enjoying because they are what people in that sphere want. The Crypto Superdog Superman movie based on a sort of all-star Superman vibe would have been everyone wants to watch that on the right and left kind of period that likes comic books 2 or 3 years ago. It would have been completely uncontroversial. People would have actually been thank fucking God it's a normie Superman and Superman's not the whatever dog whistle. Superman's not dog whistle slur. Then that would have been the complaint whatever the fuck. But now we're past that and all of those fucking movies sucked and now everyone's just I just want to watch a fucking movie. This is going to be good. I don't care. But all these guys don't have anything normal in their normal retinue to complain about. There's no overly prominent woman. There's no moment. There's no fucking Marvel quipping. There's no any hint of anything. A gay kiss in the fucking trailer or whatever the fuck. So it just looks like a bog standard Superman. This is how Superman would have been advertised in a movie at the start of the Iraq War era. If you guys remember Superman with Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, I remember that. He goes up, that's the fucking advertisement. And it was just oh, hey, there's a Superman movie coming out. Maybe I'll watch it. And so people want to go back to that. Maybe I'll watch it. People maybe I'll watch it, right? Especially if we're back to you can't even find something that's particularly indicative of okay, God, no, fucking, whatever the hell. It just looks like a bog standard movie. And I think people really want to go back to just can I just go watch the film and I don't have to feel like I'm contributing to the fall of the West by seeing it if you're on the right side of things. And he's really overreaching. And he's saying the things that would be just the most bog standard enjoyable shit about a movie, stuff that people have been fucking stoked about in 2006, are indicative of woke trash, a lack of paying attention to the people that want to see stuff from this, and all of that boils down to really Shad is lazy as fuck, and he only has like 4 arguments. And for a while, people were just handing the argument to him because part of getting the standard advertising cycle for one of these films done was pissing off the chat. We're going to really make people mad with this one. We're going to really like blah, blah, blah. Which is like, okay, yeah, you're going to throw fucking minority women and men and people in fucking protected classes under the bus online so that they have to go and defend the representation of themselves in your shitty fucking movie that you purposefully cut the budget by 10K, and now you're trying to get viral marketing through outrage. Like, it's the most obvious fucking plan ever, right? And now that that's done too, because there's no reason to try it, because it's not fucking working. It's not fucking working anymore. And the actors get harassed out of wanting to work with you in the future. All you have to do, if you've been responding to these things with that same fucking argument again and again and again and again for years, it's gonna be completely empty because, okay, well, there you go. It's just Superman with all the regular Superman JLU setup characters. You can't be mad at it. It's almost like classic comics grade fucking representation. The colors of the suit are correct. I think it's overpants out. I think he's got the fucking the trunks on. He's a little slumpy Superman. He's got crypto. That's fucking insane. I hope he has the All-Star key, you know? It's made out of a chunk of dead star and it's like weighs 2 billion pounds sunk into the ground. That'd be dope. That'd be really fucking cool. Looks entertaining. No weird licenses have been taken. Lex Luthor, I think, I remember, I don't know if I saw him in that. I think he doesn't have hair, or maybe he does. I don't know. Guy Gardner's going to be in it. I remember watching the thing. I don't even know if Shad recognized who that was. But I think it's going to be at least a mediocre, if not good, movie. And I would like to be surprised and find out that it's fucking great. I'm burned out on comic book films. I'm not excited about them anymore. I haven't seen any of the last 3 Spider-Man films, all of which were heavily marketed to me and then released via Sony, so I couldn't watch them fucking anywhere without paying for them. I'm not paying $20 for a fucking Spider-Man movie unless it's in theaters, and my wife doesn't give a fuck about comic book movies, so that is not what we'll be seeing if we're going to go to the theaters that night. Jesus Christ. I don't know. But either way, Shad has been in a back and forth because every opinion he had on this was wrong. And now he called out Anthony a week or so ago, whatever that was. And Anthony responded with a 7-some-odd hour long live stream, maybe even longer than that. I can't remember. It was forever. And then trimmed that down into like a 3-hour video where he basically refutes all of Shad's points because Shad lies just relentlessly, start to finish, throughout the entire thing. About Anthony, about his own statements, about previous videos, and it's just absurd. And now I think he's actually legitimately fucking furious. He's got his warning shirt on. He says, danger, danger. I put on my red shit today. You are cruising for a bruising, mister. So who the fuck knows where this is going to go? I have no clue, but let's kick it off and watch it go.
One of the main ways that liars use to protect themselves is to call those that are accusing them of their dishonesty liars back. And if they have an uncritical audience who will not double-check what they're saying, this can unfortunately be an effective response. All they have to do is just keep lying. The only way to determine who's the one being honest is to look at the evidence. This actually isn't hard, and you can be quite assured that the one...
I'm going to stop here just in case Shadiversity watches it, because I know he'll lose his mind, because I was looking away from the screen and then I paused it. I think it's awesome if you're going to make a video where you're like, you're going to say you have evidence, to just, instead of posting whatever the evidence needs to be, just to post a picture that says evidence. It just feels like a placeholder for evidence. I know that's not the point he's like getting ready to make, but just for some reason I like it. I like it. I love it when people have that, like, I'm going to type the word or like the feeling or vibe or the motive of like this sentence or paragraph into stock images, and then whatever that is, I'm just going to throw it in for a few seconds to break up the fucking editing of the video.
One calling someone a liar without presenting any proof beyond their claim, such as the clip catching that person out in their dishonesty, is the one who is actually lying themselves. This is why when I accuse someone of being a liar, I always prove it. And I don't just let...
This is crazy. Wow. It is. This actually might be a no you hang up situation with fucking Ant. So he's just... I'm telling you right now, watch the video. They go back and forth like painstakingly. It's Sai, I think her name is. Or their name, I'm sorry, I don't know your actual pronouns. And Anthony watching that shit forever. And they just keep going back and forth between the videos. They just, like, for all of the different claims, it takes them forever to get through it. And he's just... Shadiversity's just raw fucking lying almost the entire fucking time. like shamelessly lying about what he's looking at half the time. You can rewind, and he just says a completely different thing. He misstates Anthony's points. He puts in evidence that does not connect to the truth at all, or like clip chimps and shit. Like, I know it's standard YouTube stuff, but it's raw. Busted for hours. For fucking hours. And just to start this off by saying, like, they insinuating for a second that they didn't do that is nuts. Like, that is so fucking crazy, man.
Just let them rely on my own word. It's a serious claim and should be backed up with proper evidence. For instance, here is an example of when I called out Jack Saint for his shocking lie about me, claiming I said something about the Mario movie which wasn't even close to the truth. I actually say you can have elements of wokeness in it and it won't ruin the film as long as there's a balance. Mario gets to be the hero that would like to see him being, and in Mario itself it's not filled to the brim. I'm quite clear about the fact that in isolation wouldn't really bother me and that it's mostly harmless. And these are just my views, but Nathan, co-host on Night's Watch, loved Mario and was very praiseworthy of it.
I love this film. I smiled throughout and I really enjoyed it.
I also praise the film for multiple reasons, yet Jack chooses to try and represent our view of the film as this.
The Knights recognize the Super
Wait,
Mario...
what? I looked away for 2 seconds and I just realized that we're talking about Jack Saint and not. I'm not going back.
Mario Brothers movie for exactly what it is. Heretical,
Actually, I don't know. Now that Jack Saint has appeared, I'm just gonna say I don't. Sometimes he watches these. Your video on Squid Game 2 was depressing as fuck and good, and I liked it. Jack Saint. That's the comment. It was a very good video and very crushing. If you want Jack Saint to like accidentally give you an excuse for giving up entirely, go watch his Squid Game 2 video that just came out.
Obscene trash. Mario is a woke film filled to the brim with wokeness and woke messages.
And with this false deceptive summary of our supposed opinions, Jack chooses to use clips from our reaction to the Mario trailer, which we filmed well before the Mario film was ever released, and he presents them as our views of the film, which is extremely deceptive and dishonest. What I want to re-show you right now is some of those clips that I've already shown of myself expressing my...
Is this gonna be it? The dude lies on like, it gets deep. It's like a deep level lie. Let's see. Nights Watch Mario review. Super Mario Bros. Review. Peach is a girl boss, but kids will love it. There's the fucking picture. So, girl boss Peach? Girl boss! Very woke versus anti-woke. What the fuck? There's a series of these. Which one is it? The review is an hour and a half long.
Before we begin, we just want to ask you all if you enjoy video.
We should give kids' movies a pass, though, when it comes to... Is it a good family film? Yeah, you know, and there's nothing overt. It's more subtextual, and even then, it's not going to be like, we're trying to get your kids, nothing like that. My daughter will love it as a result of the Girl Boss Peach stuff. She's just going to think it's awesome that she is a total Mary Sue.
We loved it. Yeah, I guess it's a good movie for kids. My daughter's just gonna love the female representation of this Mary Sue.
Okay, spoilers?
Before we go into spoilers, so King Koopa, right? In the original source material, was that his goal? Was he always after Peach in that way?
Okay, I can't watch any more of that. I'll die. I don't think I've ever watched this one. I think I've just seen people talk about it. But in the original source material, like we're talking about the Silmarillion. Oh my god! In the subtle details left in the traditional 8-bit game Mario Bros. Was Bowser always after Peach? Was that his goal? Like, I'm pretty sure it was actually a different princess technically in the first one, right? Wasn't it? I'm sorry, but your princess is in another castle because you keep as Toads, and then the one at the end. I can't even fucking remember at this point. But like, yeah, I think in the original source material, Mario Brothers. I'm like 90. I would be shocked. But I'm like 99% sure, like 99% sure you're supposed to go rescue a princess at the fucking end. I could be fucking wrong. There's a possibility. I mean, my confidence is completely shaken on the issue. Anything could happen. Anything could happen, but I'm pretty sure in the original source material, as translated from the original Japanese into English, Bowser-san Bowser-sama was actually trying to capture Peach Nihe. Hime. Peach Hime. I don't know why that fucking kills me. But like, we have hit Red Letter Media predicted all of this. All of this, I'm just gonna give a history lesson of the internet, right? All of this is because of like a series of dog shit cultural analysis fucking corporate fuck video podcasts in the early like 2010s to 2013 like era, right? You guys remember them? Red Letter Media used to have their show. Wow, this is gonna be wow, very cool, very cool, very cool, very cool, very cool. Do you guys remember those? There's a million of those shows. I couldn't stomach one for 2 seconds. The only thing I think I ever saw it on was, who was the guy that did Epic Voice or Real Voice? Very Honest Trailers, is that what it's called? Yeah. And then they had the Superman Cafe. I think it was like screen damage, screen death. I don't give a fuck. I don't even care. I watched like half of one of those. And I'm like, oh, this is marketing. Okay. This is just raw marketing. And then there were a million of them. And they're all based on the things from just a few years earlier where people would actually like talk about this shit in a podcast. And it is the worst series of progression because we overvalued the fuck out of trivia in properties that even the people that made them didn't fucking care about. The character progression of Arthur Morgan throughout Red Dead Redemption 2, whether you go high or low or middle honor route throughout the entire story, is a painstakingly crafted narrative put together by a team of writers and set designers and story artists and all sorts of different people to really capture this idea of the moral dubiousness of the Wild West and the draw of danger and criminality in order to survive a hostile environment. It is a very, very interesting character study. It is beautiful in its presentation and how it's thrown out. It's amazing, right? Super Mario Brothers, or Mario Brothers is, they're Italian because they thought if he makes a bigger nose, you can see where the fucking you can see where the fucking thing is facing, which direction the character is facing easier if it has like a big nose. So they just colored them the way that they're colored, and because they needed big noses, and then they said, why not overalls? And they said, well, who has, the Japanese said to themselves, who has big noses? The Italians, and thus they became Mario and Luigi. In the original source material, like, it's not that deep. It's fucking Mario, brother. You're done. You figured it out. That's the whole story. That's what it was. There are more spin-offs for Mario Brothers game than I think any other IP individually on Earth, and it still does not have a Wikipedia that rivals the first like 5 minutes of Hollow Knight. You know what I mean? Like, it's just simplistic as fuck. It's not Shin Megami Tensei, okay? It's not fucking Like a Dragon. You know what I mean? It's not this big character-driven, deep, laden with cultural jokes and all sorts of like deep metaphor or source material that has been confused and adapted, and it's very interesting how that change altered like the perception of something important. It's fucking Mario Brothers. Like, I take video games seriously. I usually think I was the biggest fucking nerd, and I've been so fucking outclassed by people that I feel like I want to start giving motherfuckers swirlies at this, just flushing their fucking heads down the toilet. Because, dude, let it go. I can't even take it seriously. Discussing the value of a Mario Brothers movie over the presence of like perceived political imagery in it that is still just something that's perception based, like literally vibes based, subjective. Like, I feel like this is Peach being a girl boss bullshit. She is a girl boss. She's a fucking princess. It's Princess Peach. If there's anybody that's allowed to be a girl boss, I think I made this point the last time. It's a literal member of royalty. She's the fucking queen. Oh my God. I don't know. It's just, it's killing me. The over seriousness of just let it go. Who just, okay. Done. You know what I mean? I can't. Your channel's dying. He makes a fucking video about his channel dying every 6 fucking months. It's January right now. Let me guess. 2.5 months. Okay. March. Yeah. February. No, it's February. Fuck me. So March, April, right around halfway through April is my guess. Right around spring break. Right around when his kids are like home too much. And he's like, I gotta go to college eventually. It's going to be my channel's dying again. But every time I think it's going to become a little bit more actually it is fucking happening. And like, dude, just get away from this navel gazing content. Like half of your staff from this picture fucking gone because you can't pay to have them around anymore. Like this dude had to leave or stay on a volunteer basis to hear you talk about pants. Like it's so unimportant. And it's not even a win. You know, it's not even a fucking win. You're in Australia. It's not even your culture. It's an American movie about a Japanese game. It's like so tertiary. If your daughter's like, oh, I don't know, it's on the screen, Daddy. Just be like, oh, fucking talking in an American accent, ignore them. Fucking Americans, don't worry about it. You know, just like literally just call us foreigners and like walk away. It's literally just not your culture even. Like I just, the amount of concern over it is mind boggling. I just don't know who's dying for this content. Fuck it.
My actual
That's
views
not even what
on
he's
the
talking
level
about,
of
but fuck it.
wokeness in the film, directly back to back with what Jack claimed we said, just to emphasize how full of it he really is. Where in isolation, it probably wouldn't bother me as much, but I think kids will love it. In terms of, is it a good family film? Yeah, you know, and there's nothing overt. It's more subtextual, and even then, it's not going to be like, we're trying to get your kids, nothing like that. My daughter will love it as a result of the Girl Boss Peach stuff. She's just going to think it's awesome that she is a total Mary Sue.
We went there
Filled to the brim with wokeness and woke messages.
And this film isn't woke in the sense where no character makes a statement like, you know, privilege this or bias that or...
Filled to the brim.
And so, yeah, I think it's mostly harmless.
Filled to the brim.
That clip was from an older video, and please understand that this is not about people's opinions regarding media, movies, reacting to trailers, or anything about that. If you like something that I don't, I'm genuinely happy for you. I can assure you there are many things I like that you probably hate. What this video is about is actually something far more important. It's about honesty and the evil tactics that liars use to falsely discredit those people calling them out. And it's usually to try and slander...
Editor's note, let's a go is a fun sound Italians make. I don't know what let's go means in Japanese, but that would be fucking funny as shit. Translate, let's a go. Translator's note, kaikaku means plan. Fuck, I miss old anime. We don't get that anymore. Everybody's too fucking up. Everybody knows what dono means at the end of somebody's name and hime and all that bullshit. It's kind of killing me, honestly.
Slander them in response. Because, yes, someone is accusing me of lying after having exposed them for blatant dishonesty. Who then is telling the truth between myself calling him a liar and his response to call me a liar in return? Well, if people were actually willing to look at the evidence, I would be easily exonerated in all the accusations against me, including the response video that Jack Saint made in response to me exposing him, where he then in return accused me
Am I fucking high right now? Why are we still talking about fucking liar, liar, pants on fire, exposing the dishonest hack, Anthony Gramuglia?
lying. If people just pay attention and listen to what I'm saying and look at that evidence, you can clearly find out who's telling the truth.
Filled to the brim with wokeness and woke messages.
Man, really
This
calling
film isn't
Bowser
woke in the
King
sense
Koopa
where no
like it's the
character makes a
original
statement
Latin.
like, privilege this or bias that, or...
Filled to the brim.
From all reports I've received from that video, including one of his own comments, his video didn't even address that malicious lie that he said about me, and he went on to construct straw man after straw man attacking me and lying about me. I didn't bother responding to that video back then because it
God,
was so
talk about a
painful-
fucking Jesus Christ! Talk about a overextended term. The best way, the way you know you've hit too much internet, is like you're too deep. You're too deep in the internet. Is when people know just enough about the existence of rhetoric terms to strawman a person by calling them a strawman, or by saying they've been strawmanned by that individual. Like straw manning is what literally is kind of like happening to me in these fucking commentary. I'm not around to talk about my specific thing. I'm not. They talk. They've built up an idea of me that they argue with, right? And even Sunday, this argument. It's no point in even fucking bringing them up. It's just like you can just don't worry about even saying straw man. Just literally attack the false representation of your idea and in the idea. Otherwise, you're wasting time. But the whole purpose of a straw man is literally to say these issues are the issues with you, right? It's just attributing a false position to somebody or a false series of statements, generally, blah, 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 blah. And like, it is not a great response to anything. It just really isn't, because saying it is one of the best ways to make a straw man out of somebody. It's a perfect ad hom, because you just say that they're doing it, and then if you don't describe how, then they're on the hook, so to say, for saying the thing they already said about you and saying how that is not falsely attributed to you, right? So that's the cheapness of the tactic. That's why you just have to walk around it. You're constantly having to fucking repeat yourself. More than likely, if you hear straw man come out several times, especially at the beginning of something, it might be, you might be heading in the bad faith direction of the debate. But it's always wonderful that Destiny's contributions to these spheres just keep on coming.
fully clear that he was trying to bait me and wanted to draw me into this type of internet mudslinging contest. And when you see a troll so desperately wanting you to react a certain way, the best thing is to not give them or do the thing that they want you to do. Having said that, I still might respond to that video in the future sometime, because...
Oh, are you fucking serious? Wait, are we still talking about Jack Saint? Hold on.
Clear that he was trying to bait me and wanted to draw me into this type of internet mudslinging contest. And when you see a troll so desperately wanting you to react a certain way, the best thing is to not give them or do the thing that they want you to do. Having said that, I still might respond to that video in the future sometime, because lies deserve to get exposed, and I should defend myself. What's interesting is that a very similar situation is currently underway, where an online ideological activist...
Okay, so he said, eventually someday I'll respond to Jack Saint. Or Jack Saint's other video? Right? How many? That's Shadfall from like a year and like 15, 16 months ago, like a year and 4 months or something. Nightfall came out like shortly after I think I started my channel and like started actually gaining subs. And I remember people saying like, "Oh, hey, your thing was good. You should react to this Jack Saint thing." I was like, "Well, if it's good, I don't want to bring it up because you should just go watch his thing, you know." I'll talk about it if I liked it, but I don't want to steal the content necessarily, especially if there's nothing to talk about. And that's nuts. I don't know why that was added here. So are we just saying that Anthony Gramuglia is just like the guy you wouldn't respond to, but you're going to respond to him? What is it about Ant? Is it because you're not in the same country? Are you afraid? Is Shad afraid that he's going to walk outside of his house and Jack Saint's going to be there in his little fucking jester hat? Like, I don't think that your response was particularly good. Oh, no. He just looks down a long hallway in his house that wasn't there a few weeks ago, and there's just a silhouette of a man in a jester outfit at the end of the hall. Hello? Who goes there, ghost? Ghost, reveal yourself. Wing, wing. The fucking Jack St. Dolls come out of the fucking shadows behind him. Drag him away.
As a media critic, has tried criticizing me for my thoughts in the recent Superman trailer, where he constantly lied about what I was saying in my initial reaction, and I called him out. His response is to continue the slander, double down, and lie even more, claiming that I can't take criticism because people lying about you is just fair criticism, of course, and exposing them when they lie about you, that's just me having a thin skin, according to them. It's kind of interesting how much these extremist, ideologically obsessed culture warriors wants to be able to drag your reputation and name through the mud, and then try and mock you for responding to it when defending yourself. It's actually quite pathetic. And it's also kind of funny because, in reality, I rarely respond to these activists who are constantly attacking me.
Activists?
For every video where I...
Anthony out here, Anthony Gramuglia out here doing activism, man. Just talking about fucking anime. So I really liked this show, and he was pretty good. And then, like, where is his 201.3C or whatever the fuck? Where is this Bezos? Did Bezos put you up to this? So you see here in this video, you lied about me, and if I rewind it, there's the facts. Shadiversity's just like, fucking, not Bezos, right? Soros, throwing his fucking paper around and shit. What is the activism? Like, what is there, are you like some sort of governmental entity? You know, the fucking, we're trying to take down the Shad industrial complex through rigorous noticing things in Ranma 1/2 and talking about them. Like, what the fuck is this? Fucking Anthony Gramuglia makes a completely unrelated video on Dune, has nothing to do with Shadiversity. He's just like, he's trying to destroy the Christian left, try Christian right.
Where I've bothered to respond and defend
crazy.
myself to all these hit piece videos and attacks, there's like 40 other videos that I've just ignored. And one of the main reasons is that the unfortunate reality is that even if I was to respond to every single one, I don't actually think that would really do much in the larger scheme of things. It wouldn't really convince any of those fans, especially those ones who now have a firm, hard belief, almost unshakable, that I'm some type of deranged conservative fraud. I've seen this time and time again, that even when the truth is presented before them, they care more about winning a culture war than if who they are watching was actually being honest. Now, of course, there are people who I align with in my own ideology that do this as well, okay? And I encourage them not to, but I certainly see this far more from those I oppose due to
I will not call these individuals out. This is why I don't have any fucking friends. There's so much of this fucking like cultural shit I'm seeing on YouTube where it's like you got to be a part of a little wolf pack, and you can't call out dudes on your own side, creators on your own, and it's always like, yo, I don't like this thing, but I especially don't like it when a trans person does it. Like, lying to get ahead. Typical leftist. Now they're all rightists who do this, but they are not the same. It's just fucking, it eliminates anyone's ability. You can't say that. That's the thing. It's even if you were right that Anthony had lied about everything, just that statement is so defeating to believing that you're a good faith operator and an honest person. It's crazy. Like everybody lies and makes mistakes. You have to be calling people out when they do it if it's serious. You know, but you hyper focus on people and you call them activists when they're on the other side of the aisle. You know what I mean? So it's like, obviously you don't actually care about the lies. You care about the fucking political position, because the lies are not the constant. It's the political position is the constant that actually moves your hand when you go and do something. Fucking, it's not great, man. It's a bad look, you know? And I know you're not going to change. And also, like, you got to call a liar. Got to call a dude a liar like 79 fucking times in a row. I got to see the lies. It's a whole fucking video.
due to a fundamental philosophical difference, and it's that I do not believe the ends justify the means. This leads to the sad reality of most ideologically possessed individuals. They don't really care about if they themselves are being honest, or those people they listen to are being honest if they're fighting on the same side. Not when it contributes to winning the ideological battle that they're obsessed with. Many people can become so obsessed with winning that they then begin to naturally, sometimes slowly, sometimes fully, gravitate towards that philosophy that the ends justify the means, that the utopia that they're fighting for is of the utmost importance, and that it even justifies acting not only immorally, but sometimes abandoning all standards and principles entirely.
You call it...
Oh no! I don't want it. Where did Vosh come from? It's Vosh on the screen. I was just gonna say, isn't that like a standpoint of the Mormon Church to do like a little lie to get ahead? I'm thinking like every fucking religion has some version of that. Like if you're a religious person that's a hardcore into it, right? Because moral consistency is not possible. It never has been. It never is. That's why the people that are most about it have like secret lives and shit. You have to hide in the shadows and let nobody notice anything about you ever. Because otherwise, why would we have every fucking faith on the earth have forgiveness? You know, why do we have courts? Why do we have laws? Why do we have rehabilitation? It's hard for people to maintain consistency, and people make mistakes and people fuck up, and sometimes people, you know, run into the natural catch-22s of existing on this fucking planet. But the idea that anyone's above that is nuts, right? And it's built into a lot of different religions, because eventually you will get to a point where like, yeah, we're not supposed to kill anybody, but they're going to kill all of us. It's like, all right, well, you can slaughter every person who like raises a sword against Israel, but like only until the month where the locusts come. Like, all right, okay. You know, you get deep into like past any normal religious book. If you're a conservatively religious person, you know what I mean? And honestly, even if you're like a conservatively or a hardcore atheist individual, you always see people doing this same excuse, you know, like saying like, I would never do the thing that this other religion is doing, or that this other like unit is doing, where they're abandoning their principles in order to not be destroyed by the current conflict. It's like, okay, they're doing the most normal thing ever, right? The context of existence has changed, and so now the fabric of morality has shifted as well. Wow, we have to live like fucking adults where everything is not an absolute fucking Boolean construct. True or false, you did bad thing. Oh, did bad thing, you bad now. Like, okay, people are complex, they're complicated. Everyone does this. Anyone that says like, oh, these other people, they'll fucking break every goddamn rule to win. And I won't. Like, you know, I would never violate a principle. I would never step outside the bounds of reality. Almost every time you hear somebody say that, they're about one sentence ahead of or two sentences behind saying, but this time, you know what I mean? I'm gonna break my rule just once. You know what I'm saying?
Call it selling out your principles.
That's why,
I call it winning.
That's why, in my mind, repercussive accountability coupled with rehabilitative assessment of an issue is always more important to me than someone saying just like, oh no, moral consistency is the most valuable thing. Like, no, you have to have people hold you to account, because otherwise everyone has a moment where everybody on earth, if you live past the age of like 12 and you have a modicum of sapience at all, will have at least one time had the fucking Bilbo Baggins moment. Well, why shouldn't I? You know what I mean? Everybody, it's temptation, desire, momentary weakness, ignorance, misstep, shortcoming, failure, whatever. There's a million things. Like, people are just, you can never be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And if someone's like, trust me, I'm on the side that doesn't do that, they are about to fucking do some gnarly shit. You always say that right before you try to justify doing all of the things that you're about to accuse someone else of.
Winning. And that's my principle. To win as a socialist, not to lose as a socialist. That's not my principle. I don't give a about principled failure. Principled failure is worth dog shit.
I reject that philosophy as evil. Evil committed, even when in pursuit for a supposedly noble goal, is not justified. And for myself, I will not resort to immoral actions or means to win a fight. I would rather lose that fight for having kept my principles and standards than having won that fight through compromising them. I do believe we should all fight for a better world, but we can't ever lose sight of what's most important, the true goal in life. And that's not actually saving the world or even necessarily making a better place, even though we will strive for it. The actual goal is that we lived a good, honest, decent life. And if you've become so obsessed with saving the world that you've started to erode away true...
Do we just compare entertainment commentator and reviewer Anthony Gramuglia to known fucking lolicon horse guy Vosh? Is it not gnarly to say, to follow up immediately, I would not do anything duplicitous, the ends don't justify the means to make a point, and then apropos of literally nothing, compare the person who actually talked to you to someone who may have vaguely aligned political interests, who is well known, better known than Anthony Gramuglia by a bit. I'm going to go ahead and venture. Sorry, Ant. I don't know if your reputation precedes you in quite the same measure. Compare him to somebody who is widely known for being a fucking gooner freak. Is that not an inherent act of duplicity? Is there not a million other people that might have said something along the lines of, I want to win, I don't want to lose, I would do anything I could to win if I needed to? How about literally Winston Churchill? I would join up, if the devil himself said he would help me beat the Nazis, I would take his hand and, I would take his hand in kind. Whatever the fuck that quote is. British people, lose your minds, correct me in the comments. But that's a Winston Churchill quote. You know what I mean? It goes back, that's not an uncommon thing. You have to ignore all of the other people of various stripes and dispositions, because you're not talking about a communist when you're talking about Winston fucking Churchill. You have to ignore all sorts of other different people and then compare Ant to fucking Vosh. What implication could that innocent comparison bring with it? We're also 9 minutes in, just dragging the fuck out of Ant and Jack and really not responding to anything they said. If you rewind just a bit, you'll see he's sort of, maybe, I don't even know, I'd have to watch a bunch of it. I'd have to watch 4 different videos, I guess, to get to the bottom of whatever the fuck it was he was saying back here about maybe the slightest muddling of a quote where he said, I guess he didn't like the movie or whatever. And he goes, I thought it was fine for a children's film, despite the girl boss. You know what I mean? That mealy mouth bit, and then we're approaching 10 minutes of just slander, just dragging these guys, attributing crazy positions to them, saying they made a straw man out of me. Did you know that Anthony Gramuglia is a leftist? Did you know that Vosh, the lolicon guy, friend to Destiny, the revenge porn guy, is also a leftist? It's dude, well, I didn't say that directly. It's okay, well, then why did you put it up on the screen? What was your decision? Did you just have clips of Vosh on hand? It was the closest thing, you're just reaching over, or do you just make willy-nilly decisions and you don't focus on what you're doing? That's kind of the point, you know what I mean?
True principles of honesty and goodness in that pursuit, you're truly lost your way. This does, of course, leave principled people at a disadvantage when opposing people without principles, who rely on immoral, dishonest tactics to win ideological battles. And then they also rely on their audience's own ignorance. Or, and this is worse, that their audience is as ideologically determined to win that battle and are willing to accept dishonesty and other underhanded tactics. They then begin to rely on the fact that if they have an ideologically possessed audience that really aligns with their worldview, is that audience rarely questions what they say because they're batting for the same side. The fact that habitual proven liars like Vorsh, Hassan, Piker, or Destiny, who have all been exposed in some of the most loathsome lies, hypocrisy, or degeneracy...
He made my point. I did not pre-watch. I could not have pre-watched this. This came out right before I can't believe he doubled down on the insinuation. He just goes my fucking audience is dumb as fuck. I'm going to have to hammer this in home that Vosh, Destiny, and now we got Hassan, the big three, yet again. Always. They are so disgusting. These fucking animals. they have done things that I that pale in comparison to the worst devils of all time. Did you know that Anthony Gramuglia? I drew you as the Vosh.
all still have fairly sizable audiences is proof of what I'm saying. Many ideologically deranged people will excuse or actively take part in dishonesty, cheating, hypocrisy, and worse if it helps them win their ideological battle. So, case in point to all the things that I've been talking about here, enter Anthony Gramuglia, who has recently been attacking me, taking out of context.
Gramuglia.
He's been so desperate to try and link his criticism to this channel, Shadiversity.
Did you? I don't know. Is this an actual picture of Ant? Because I feel like you did you turn the shine up on his nose? Are you? Tisk Shadiversity. Now what is this fucking photo? Feels like just like a sight gag in an old Adult Swim cartoon. First, let me draw your attention to our competitor for the day. Click, and it's just like it's the most unflattering photo we could find, and the word liar underneath it. Today I draw your attention to the common Gramuglia. Click. He pops up with this big lie. The real gangster shit would have been to fucking AI art Gramuglia's face onto Darkseid. If you had a half a sense of humor, fuck that thumbnail artist. That's the thumbnail for this. Gramuglia's gonna be Darkseid. It's just gonna say die for Darkseid. It's Anthony Gramuglia. Shad just like Oh my God.
Been attacking me, taking out of context, and lying about me. He's been so desperate to try and link his criticism to this channel, Shadiversity, that I'm releasing this video here to defend my credibility. Because he's claiming I'm a liar and I shouldn't be trusted, which of course would affect the perception and reputation of the content I even make here on this channel. Now, of course, if you are not interested in this video, please do ignore it. The regular Shadiversity content is not interrupted and is continuing to come out as we speak. In fact, the new exclusive video we're testing this week is testing the McJojo self-defense techniques in real life. Full-length, high-production Shadiversity video that you can get access to for as little as $1 a month. And it's the type of content that
as a scientific individual yourself, Shadiversity, how do you create a control environment for bullshido when you are using your own practice area to practice? It's like seeing the guy that's like, I summon the energy in my hand and I can point it at people and they fall down, and you just see like Steven Seagal come from behind the stage like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to debunk this. When I was in China in 1972, I saw the original practice of this. Bro. Dude, oh my God. Can we get that interview? Shadiversity, you will save your channel. Please reach out to a man named Steven Seagal. You need to do a movie with him.
That unfortunately can't release publicly anymore because just sword content in isolation is just getting buried on the algorithm currently. And the last few months have just utterly proven that YouTube is not pushing that content, and that does not offset the time or money spent in making it, which is why we've had to make that content exclusive, because there's still a passionate group of people that love that content and want to see it. And this is the way in which we can keep producing it for that incredible audience in a sustainable way going forward. And seriously, it begins as little as $1 a month, and you get access to weekly, dedicated, full-length, high-production videos, the type of content that is just becoming harder and harder to keep viable on this platform, as well as heaps of backlog content, behind-the-scenes content. It's just huge amounts that we're able to give you, and genuinely thank you to all the supporters. You guys have reacted incredibly. You really seem to like the idea, and I love it because I can keep making that content as well. So Gramuglia is very desperate for attention, has made some of the most ludicrous claims about media I've ever heard, like watching the classic anime Ranma half will turn you bi.
God damn it. Okay, I have to prove this. This is so fucking irritating to me. It's not Ranma half. It is not. I don't care. People are like, Tyler, I don't know if you know this, but Shadiversity is from Australia. In Australia, they call it half instead. No, it's from watching the show. In the show, when you do you know what an eye catcher? There's no way Shadiversity knows what a fucking eye catcher is in anime. And the advertisements, they say Ranma 1/2. In every advertisement for it that you would have seen on all the old VHSs and DVDs, watch Ranma 1/2, right? Ranma 1/2. Fucking, let's see, advertisement. Movie 1, series 1/2. Here we go. I'm going to keep it up here. You can watch this on your own, okay? But I'm going to keep it up here because even though it is censored, it is the old Ranma 1/2, so there's tits in it. You only need to be able to hear it. Oh, God. Okay, no, actually, I'm going to bring this up for just a second. I'll just pause it toward the end. Fuck, dude. That buzz when the Viz comes up, is anyone else watching this? Did you just feel like 1997 hit you again like a Mack truck? This is just such a good vibe. Just feel it. Just feel it. Ah, that's gone. And those were always the most poorly like encoded onto the magnetos, whatever the fuck, right? Because if you don't like when they made videos, it's not like a whole like digital thing going on to the video. So all of those like scraps that are reused get reused a bunch, and you can tell that they're getting their ass kicked. So you'd see like US Manga Core or whatever the fuck, and you could tell like they were burning up whatever the fucking negative is that's going there, because it would sort of like really losing its cool. But that was the vibe, man. Dark, everything staticky. CRTs were just so like hot. They had such a heat to them. You don't get it from the modern screens. There's something about playing video games for like 4 hours in 98 and then standing up to go turn the TV off, and you can feel your arm being pulled towards the static electricity field that's like hovering in front of these highly inefficient, bulbous fucking glass screens. You can't get that. Like when you turn a video game off these days, you don't even know what I'm talking about if you're a kid. You've never actually experienced real CTR TVs. Like a real they're covered in static. I don't know if people even talk about this anymore, but you run them for a while, they're like, and you would feel like your hairs and stuff. That's like, you know, when you see movies where people get pulled into TV. Oh, it's not just because it's a fucking window. It's because when you go to turn them off, if they've been running for a while, especially at night when it's the staticky screen, you're like, shit, I gotta go turn it off. You can feel the static pull of the fucking screens because it was just static all over it. And it like really like tugs at you, and you start turning the thing, and it really is a whole like big moment. Wow, you know, fucking feel the thing die. You know, screens just flicker on and off. They're soulless, personalityless, completely functional. Great, awesome, wonderful. CRTs, man, tube TVs, bro. Those fucking things. I swear to God, there was something about them. They fucking suck comparatively, but they were really alive. A stack of CRT TVs with a villain's face playing over all of them is just so much more valuable to me than some sort of like assembled series of fucking 1080p monitors. And you have brackets on them. You know how hard it was to stack those old TVs? You fucking really put them on top of each other. God damn.
Yo, Ranma Sao Tome here to tell you about the most incredible series of all time. It's called Ranma One Half, and it's all...
There you go. I'm not going to play the rest of it because Ranma One Half. Everyone knows. He turns into a girl, and it's boobs. So I don't want to get cracked by YouTube. Ranma One Half. That's how it is pronounced. Every advertisement, every eye catcher that says it. Well, Ranma One Half. You know what I mean? The movies turn into Ranma One Half, the movie. Blah, 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 all that stuff. It's not Ranma Half. You would have had to have only ever read the manga, which is first off crazy that you access the Ranma One Half manga instead of the fucking show. Like, that's bonkers. That's what it is. That every fucking person that has watched that goddamn anime calls it Ranma One Half. I've heard people from Anglo countries. It's just the title. Because there's two Ranmas. Each one of them is one of the halves. It's not Ranma half. It's not a measurement. That's one half of Ranma. There's two chunks. God damn. Oh.
Bi and trans. That is unironically the title of one of his videos. It's interesting because that video came out after the one that I made on Night's Watch, where it was literally debunking nonsense claims like that and calling out people like Gramuglia for trying to co-opt classic stories and warp them in to fit their regressive ideological beliefs. I
missed this completely. I have to react to this. I've got to start talking about anime again. I'm stoked.
Heaps of references that Ranma Half promotes many traditional values that are actually the opposite of what people like Gramuglia claim, and that is all...
What traditional... Dude, Haposai cannot be... Dude, he's like, I gotta defend this show. Fucking Shadiversity saw Haposai, the fucking patriarch, the respected patriarch of the fucking Rama is Saltome. What is Akane's last name? I can't remember. The fucking dojo that they live in, Haposai, little fucking pervert running around with stolen girls' undergarments on his face like a mask, literally sexually assaulting people at the drop of a hat. Fucking Chad saw that and he was like, finally, Mormon values represented in Japanese media. He was like, this is fucking awesome. Luke Lars super chat. Oh, hold on. Let me get to you. CRTs have zero latency. They better, because they are fucking like, they're actually dangerous. The way CRTs would still have a faint glow after you turn them off. It's no one will ever understand analog horror. I've got to get to this, dude. I'm so excited to maybe finally get the thing done. Luke, your super chat did not pop in my chat. I don't know if I fucked up something. Let me double check, because I cannot see that. He's not even talking about the Superman video. No, he hasn't talked about the Superman video at all. He hasn't talked about, this is Liar Liar Pants on Fire, exposing dishonest hack Anthony Gramuglia. We're halfway through it. He has posted one mean picture of Anthony and said that Anthony did a lie about his other video. And that's it. And it's he mispronounced Ranma 1/2 and calls it Ranma half for some fucking reason. If that's changed completely, okay, but like, dude, I'm not fucking around. I watched so much of that fucking anime when I was a kid. Akane Tendo, thank you.
And it's content like that, which
Tendo
is
Dojo.
such ideologically extremist reach content that it really comes off like he's desperate for attention, relevancy, and also credibility. He's constantly gassing himself up.
I know comics. I have, for the better part of a decade, worked in some form or another adjacent to the comic industry, either as a writer,
making wild nonsense claims so people will notice him. And of course, he attacks others regularly.
At least that's better than a ton of grifters who don't hide their shameless grifting on every news story.
Dishonesty and deception is his default nature, and I'm going to be showing you some blatant examples of this in his most recent hit piece against me. On top of that, you can look at my initial reaction to him on Night's Watch, where I systematically break down in detail all the lies, all the strawmans. It's actually shocking. It takes 2 hours to go through, and it's just lie after lie, strawman after strawman. That's available on Night's Watch, and the EFAP crew, Mauler, Rags, Fringy, and all the others, they've actually done a full podcast where they have also...
Yeah, I've got to watch this one too. I'm excited. Because like the fuck media literacy vibe in general is just so rough with people these days. I swear to God, on both sides of the aisle, it's been pretty bad. But like, I feel the you know, I don't know, TV trip code poster types just... I feel like I'm going to see a lot of bad takes from that area, and I want to see some of them.
Systematically broken down this liar's tactics and dishonesty. So links in the descriptions to those videos. Gramuglia has a pattern of behavior where he's been called out repeatedly. And he doesn't seem to care about the fact that he gets called out again and again, nor does his ideologically aligned audience. Kind of telling, confirming the things that I've been saying in this video so far. He's fighting for a certain side, and so they will ignore the many times he has been called out for his blatant dishonesty. He can slander and lie about people, especially if his audience is already predisposed to dislike the individual. They'll just accept it, tell themselves that he's telling the truth, or they know he's lying and they don't care about it, and they continue moving forward. So he knows that most of his audience will eat up whatever he says so long as it's framed in some kind of vein of logic, in spite of that logic being based on a complete straw man, and that he will take things so far out of context that it's shocking. And like I said, yes, his audience will continue to eat it up because it's further ammunition against those they ideologically oppose. It's not about truth or principles.
There's literally nothing even to respond to, because this is just... I mean, this is actually an ad hom. One of the rare actually an ad hom. He just does all of these things, so he can't be telling the truth. We haven't seen any facts. Like, all you gotta do is point out a thing. You gotta start by doing that. You get like the 15 minute section of buttering you up so that you're already predisposed to thinking the guy's a fucking liar. And it's edited is the thing too. Like, I know I give long fucking intros about shit and I'll talk some shit about somebody, but it's edited. It's an edited together video that's a response to stuff that's out there. And we've talked about several other people, and we're like 15 fucking minutes in here and I don't have anything.
With people like this, it's about winning a fight.
You call it selling out your principles. I call it winning. I don't give a about principled failure. Principled failure.
Did I rewind?
Dog shit.
The examples I'm about to give are not about the Superman trailer that I'm initially reacting to, that video being...
Fuck me. He did the Vosh post twice. Just hammer it home. God damn.
The catalyst for all this. They are examples about the intellectual dishonesty of this person attacking me and trying to discredit me. And we're not going to be going through every single lie in this 3.5 hour video. The fact that I can expose just some blatant lies in not the first 10 or so minutes sets the standard of the intellectual honesty of this person and how much time or attention is worthy of. Yeah, spoiler, it's none. So case in point of just how...
By the way, thank you, Luke. I looked it up. Taller than for me, Lord. Thank you very much.
casually and easily he lies is at the beginning of his video, he makes a simple statement, just moves on from it, and he moves on from it like it is just a common, well-known fact. And the lie is him stating that I attack every single person who criticizes me.
Now, you also attack every single person who has ever criticized you, even a little bit.
Now, what's interesting about that
that
statement...
that is untrue, Ant. That is actually an untruth. When's gonna be my time? People say it all the time, and it's true. I wouldn't have a channel without Shadiversity. God bless him. He is the wheat in my fields. Okay, he is the beautiful resource that does keep on giving and keeps me well fed and hungry and full of chuckles. Can't eat it all the time; it'll rot your teeth. But like, he has not actually responded to me. So Anthony, unfortunately, Shad's got you. Fucking owned. I don't get one. No response for Tyler. All right. One of the larger, I think, is my book review. I can't remember. I feel like I compared it at some point. It's like I'm one of the bigger ones, and then there's somebody that got like 1.5 million reviewing his book and roasting
that it is so blatantly and easily provably false that it is laughable. Heaps of people have made regular hit piece videos attacking me over the last 2 years, and I've barely even acknowledged any of them. You can look through the Shadiversity and Night's Watch backlog for response or reply and just see how many I've made in the last 2 years. And you'll find that there are barely any there. When in contrast, there's almost like weekly hit piece videos made targeting me. In actual fact, let's look at how many have come out this week. So we'll go to YouTube,
me,
Shadiversity, and sort by most.
Oh, chat, are you excited? Drum roll. Shadiversity is searching for Shadiversity hate content right in front of me. Am I going to appear on screen? Am I going to show up? This will be the moment. I'll feel famous now. I'll feel famous. Clip that. I will feel famous now. Oh my God. Dude, anybody that's like talks smack about him is going to have like the, oh. You know, I was talking about him in my Discord like yesterday before this video were probably, and I said, or maybe even, no. Okay. Before I scroll down, before he plays this, it was in a video. I think a comment response on my Shadiversity video. Someone asked, like, has he ever responded to you? And I said, no, but I've seen one of my videos in the background while he was like scrolling, or someone else did. And it had the like watched kind of thing, like underneath it, like it was a red bar or something. If that's the video that shows up and he like squicked it back down to nothing, that would be God tier. You're never beating the allegations. Excuse me, I would like to interview you about the allegations before 6 p.m. tonight. Could you come talk to me about whether my deep belief that you unwatched a video of mine to own me in a scroll? This is all for me. I live at the center of the universe.
Recent. All right, so we have
it is. I'm top of the list, baby. I'm top of the list. That's mine. That's mine. Wazowski, you did it. Wazowski's on top, baby. Wazowski's on top, baby. Yo, bro, we're making out the hood with this one. Yo, bro, yes. Edit by Triptych. Thumb by Wazowski. Bro, Trip, Wazowski, you're in a fucking Shad video. Based as fuck. Woo! Can I get some fucking slugs in chat, baby? Baby! We did it, bro. We finally made it. It's the closest I'm ever getting to any semblance of YouTube success. I have been half mentioned. I was on the top of the stack. Baby. I beat Ant. I'm higher on the list than Anthony. Woo! Oh man, it says new too. I feel like that got recommended to him. I know he searched for it, but fuck me, that's funny.
1, 2, 3 responses, 4, 5.
Fennec is in the video, bro. My fucking live stream showed up too. I've been noticed. Notice me, senpai. Notice me. Oh my god, that's fucking funny as shit. Oh, dude, I got 2 videos. I beat out fucking Jake. It's just the live stream the other videos from. We got a little bit of Fennec roll. So yeah, Kill Mickey Mouse. Your animation's on a Shadiversity channel. Whoa, dude, we're making it out with this one. We're about to get big. Yes. Oh my god, bro. Dude, I'm on top of the world. Congratulations for finally making it in a Shadiversity video. Wow. Thank you, Mogmoogle, for the $5.69. Shad confirmed Vodgagger, absolutely. Alex Channel super chat. What is that? Yay. What are those, like, is that yen? What's a W with 2 lines through it? That's fucking cool. Are those Woolongs from the hit show Cowboy Bebop? John Williams, the $5. You made it. Thank you. I'm stopping to read all these so that I can get them before they scroll up out of my chat field. Tyler Wynn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Richard Desjardins. Oh, sorry. Shad's far right horseshoe theory confirmed. I know. Oh my god. This is nuts. That's so fucking funny to me. Where that keeps scrolling. You made it. Yes, thank you, John Williams, for the $4.99 super chat. Twice, baby. Thank you, Mikkel, for the €5. Oh, thanks anybody who subscribed. I've been acknowledged. I'm so stoked.
5, 6, 7, 8. So far, 8 videos this week.
These are yours.
Either responding to me or criticizing me or attacking me. And that's just this week. Think about how many have come out in the last 2 years. And Anthony has the gall to try and accuse me, saying that I respond to every single video criticizing me, where if I did, that would literally be the only type of content I would have time to produce.
You also attack every single person who has ever criticized you, even a little bit.
It's this type of casual dishonesty that galls me the most, but it's just the like scratching of the surface of what this.
We didn't get a triple. He stopped scrolling down.
Now the rest of the way Gramuglia begins his video is a preamble structured to poison the well.
Okay. For Ambislade super chat at $5, but how fire would it be if he pulled you up at the end of his video? And this is the worst of Anthony's many soul. Dude, I fucking die, bro. Shad, please talk to Shad. You need to reach out to my enemies. They will tell you how easy I am to destroy. Reach out to little like commentary bubbas. Shad, you need to team up with President Sunday to take me down. There's 2 fat fucks just sitting in a room together, throat singing to each other.
In the well,
I'm feeling like lightly high right now. I laughed too much.
Before we even reach the 4-minute mark, we come to another shocking lie. This is him responding to my response, where I exposed him for all his lies in his, reaction to my Superman trailer. I know we're in reacception at this point, but he replays the part where he asks me if I'm upset that Lois Lane will figure out who Clark Kent is. And at this point, I was wholly exasperated by the constant strawmanning and stupidity, and the fact that he couldn't even hear what I was saying about the trailer. He constantly would go out of his way to misconstrue and misrepresent what I'd say, and then go on to address an argument that wasn't even mine. It was amazing the amount he did this, and you can check out my initial reaction on the Night's Watch, where I break it down systematically. Did I say that, you friggin' disingenuous moron? Did I say that? Listen.
Shad gets mad in a way that's just like God tier. They're he's just fucking furious.
What I said, right?
You did!
You just did! And so when I called him out asking if that's what I said, his response was, yes, I did say that. And it's like, and then he just moves on. He doesn't give any evidence or expound any further. And this is the interesting thing. If I did say it, there's a very easy way that you could prove this, Gramuglia.
Let's see if he did say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Gramuglia is a guy on the internet. Let's see. Anthony Gramuglia. Is this the pride comes before the... Yeah, there he is.
Them or,
Exactly.
Something Shad wouldn't understand.
5
And
minutes.
that's like positive masculinity.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Superman's
You know?
a great positive masculine character.
I need to make this bigger.
But the problem
is going to contradict that now, or
Right around here, right?
watch the trailer, it may not connect there. But I
Did you say this was 5 minutes in a second ago? This is like 35 minutes in, I think. It's pretty deep in there. It's not this one, yeah. I think he's all the way down here because I know I saw 2 shads on screen. And he's pissed. This feels right.
Man, I like a lot of the live action movies and the cartoons. I have never read the comics.
And that's fine.
I would not call myself an expert on Bat.
Let's see, what did Shad say where it is?
play. I did say that. Out of his way to misconstrue and misrepresent what I'd say, and then go on to address an argument that wasn't even mine. It was amazing the amount he did this, and you can check out my initial reaction on Night's Watch where I break it down systematically. Did I say that, you friggin' disingenuous?
This is... Damn, you're not going to show me the time code? Fuck. Why are you going to make my life so fucking hard, Shad? Disingenuous. Can I go here and then just write the word disingenuous in the transcript? Let's see. Disingenuous. There we go. It is okay. It's right in the. Is it right in the intro?
To say.
Did I say that, you freak?
Okay, it is in the first 5. He got right into it. So what does Anthony say? We'll go all the way back to 2 and see what's going on. I think he covers it more later over here.
Criticism, which led Jack Saint to point out all the individual flaws with Shad's response while dressed as a court jester. When I responded to Shadiversity's reaction to... I'm sorry, not Shadiversity. Shad of the Night Watch, first of his name, scribe of conquerors and all that. I reacted to Shad's reaction to the James Gunn Superman trailer. It's ridiculous. He is just making crap up. How does anyone take this seriously? And Chad responded with a 2-hour and 9-minute reaction. Take that, Jack Saint. I got an extra minute over you. And he didn't seem like what
All I got was my thumbnail showed up.
I had to say.
Did I say that, you friggin' disingenuous moron? Did I say that? Listen to what I said.
Friggin' idiot. Now, in what is arguably the dumbest stream I've ever done, I reacted to Shad's reaction, to my reaction, to his reaction, to the James Gunn trailer, resulting in this monstrosity of an image you see before you, where it looks like Inception has vomited all over your computer screen.
Okay.
There's many aspects to the Superman story and arc that I, as a fan, would want to see. And I'm a little annoyed that it's potentially just skipping over it.
So this is
And
just...
are you upset that...
This is just him leading in the video to like give you the background of all of these back and forths. I don't know. That doesn't seem like he needed to like respond to anything because that's the whole rest of the video, right?
Genuine moron. He plays the part where he asks me if I'm upset that Lois Lane will figure out who Clark Kent is. And at this point, I was wholly exasperated by the constant strawmanning and stupidity and the fact that he couldn't even hear what I was saying about the trailer. He constantly would go out of his way to misconstrue and misrepresent what I'd say and then go on to address an argument that wasn't even mine. It was amazing the amount he did this. And you can check out my initial reaction on Night's Watch where I break it down systematically. Did I say that, you friggin' disingenuous moron? Did I say that? Listen to what I said, right?
You did!
You just did! And so when I called him out asking if that's what I said, his response was, yes, I did say that. And it's like, and then he just moves on. He doesn't give any evidence or expound any further. And this is the interesting thing. If I did say it, there's a very easy way that you could prove this, Gramuglia. Play the clip of me saying it. Now, of course, he doesn't, because he's lying. I never said that I'd be upset that Lois Lane will learn who Clark Kent is. In fact, only moments before, in the very video Gramuglia is reacting to, I said this. I'm not saying that, it's not fun when Lois discovers who Superman is. That is a fun part of it. Because this whole thing that Anthony's talking about now is, Lois and Discovery. No, I'm saying it's also fun when she doesn't know who he is, and that's part of the Superman kind of Lois and Clark relationship and how it progresses. And it seems like this new movie is skipping that, and I feel it's missing something important and fun, a part of their relationship. There was a key part in that clip. Let's just hear that again. I'm not saying that, it's not fun when Lois discovers who Superman is. That is a fun part of it. And only moments later in the video he's reacting to, he accuses me of being upset that Lois will figure out who Clark is, where in that video I ask him if that was actually what I said, and in his reaction he reiterates that I did. There's many aspects to the Superman story and arc that I, as a fan, would want to see. And I'm a little annoyed that it's potentially just skipping over it. And look,
Are you upset that Lois Lane will figure out who Clark Kent is?
did I say that, you friggin' disingenuous moron? Did I say
So like, yeah, all right. this is bullshit. I have no idea what point Shadiversity thinks he's making, because he's not even being dishonest here in this clip. He's just saying, like, are you going to have this corny ass take? Like, is this where you're going with this kind of deal? Which isn't a direct, like, you are absolutely saying this, especially in something that's fucking, like, this low fucking, low value, low stakes fucking exchange between these two. It's just, yeah, like, that's completely fair. It doesn't need there's no default. If all you wanted to see in someone's reaction video is just you talking and no one having a fucking opinion on it at all, you could also do that. But like, it's a completely reasonable speculation to make, and then you kind of like blow it out of the water entirely, and then you're like, he's disingenuous. And that's just, it's not a disingenuous question to ask, especially considering you do go in that direction. Like, you wouldn't like it as much. Are you upset that it's not going to be this thing? I just thought it would be good if it was that. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you would be like a little bit upset if it wasn't that version. You know what I mean? Because first off, why would you say it otherwise? You know what I mean? Why would you get involved in that like speculative aspect? Because you're like, I don't want it to be that way. So why would it be crazy if someone says, oh, okay, because of this? It's such a fucking knot. This is why it's so interesting to watch it. You have to like literally sit down now. And I think this is what he's trying to do, is actually go so fucking far past the horizon with this reaction that you have to think about how many videos I have to look up to see if his impression of this is correct. I have to double check this video, this video, this video, this video, and also the one I'm fucking watching, which is a reaction to the whole video together. Like, it is beyond reactception. And Gramuglia proved it 100% already. These aren't even like the most egregious ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the entire thing. You just a stickler for it wasn't the most specific repeat of a quote in a place where you didn't even need to repeat the quote, because it was a joking speculation on if your taste was so bad you would only like the narrative if this one like trope that's constantly present in it was there. You know what I mean? Like, it pointless fucking criticism in the first place, especially considering there's all the other things. The only thing I ever want him to react to or respond to is the goddamn crypto the super dog allegations, because saying crypto shouldn't be in this movie is like a death sentence for anybody trying to like convince other people that they're a comic book fan.
Listen to what I said, right?
You did!
You just did! When literally moments before in the video that he is reacting to,
dude, these
I said the exact
W things
opposite.
just go
I'm not
straight to
saying
the
that,
thousands.
it's not fun when Lois discovers who Superman is. That is a fun part of it. I hope that we can see already how much of a profoundly dishonest, lying dirtbag this man is. And
Dude, that is the worst 21 minutes for one mushmouth ass clip is bonkers. Also, if I can't even fucking remember, there's so many things you have to keep track of because he's so all over the place with his claims. He was just still talking about the first like 5 minutes, and in the first 5 minutes this happens, and it was just Anthony talking about some of the highlights of what you're going to see ahead in the thing. You know, this is what's happened before, were these occurrences, and then also here's the rest of the reactions, and then also I think the live stream is still up. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you can watch the painstaking 7.5 hour, 9, however the fuck long that thing is. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. By the way, thank you, Alex, for the 5,000 Wulong. I don't know what that is, man. I somebody pretty answered, but I'm not on it. Damn it. I always lose track of these things. Maybe Critical Drinker and Neurotic and Mahler keep inviting Shad as a guest on their show to make them look better and more reasonable by comparison. It's not impossible.
And in response to me calling him out, telling him, is that what I said? Because it wasn't. His response was effectively, no, you did say that. Which is as much blatant dishonesty as a guy trying to sell you a car without wheels, and when you say there's no wheels on that, his response is, yes, there are. That's how much of an unashamed liar he is. His literal response was, no, you did say that, with no further elaboration or proof. When literally moments...
I think the elaboration and proof is just like playing the fucking clip, though, when you said the thing, right? I mean, like, we're just 21.5 minutes of Anthony Gramuglia is the biggest liar ever.
That he is reacting to.
I've seen more on-screen time with his face in the word liar, and also longer clips from a Vosh segment from 4 years ago than I have of Anthony Gramuglia talking about Shad.
Said the exact opposite. And he knows that his audience is so ideologically aligned with him that they don't want or need that further elaboration or proof. They just want to see their ideological enemies get dunked on, which is what he's giving them. Therefore, they are satisfied with this content, even if it is founded on a lie. His entire video, as well as the one I reacted to, are filled to the brim with lies like this, because Gramuglia is a dishonest hack, and is relying on the ignorance of his own audience so he can manipulate them into thinking that he has any measure of credibility at all, and that I am a liar and a fraud. He knows that his ideologically possessed audience want blood, so he will lie about myself and others to give it to them. So I'm going to give one last example of Gramuglia's dishonesty, which is his large defensive claim against my accusations in calling him a liar in that response I made. Because he isn't worth the time in breaking down every single lie in this 3.5-hour obsessive video, but it is absolutely chock full of them. I mean, even in that first section.
I mean, obsessive is kind of crazy too, because like you keep responding to it a lot with bad responses. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's fine to like continually defend yourself if you want. It's your choice what to do with your content, but I think you're mostly just want to frame him as a liar, but you don't have any evidence that he's lying. Like, there's a lot of video. If it's 7 hours of video, this is a half-hour long response. It should just be like clip, 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 clip after a second. But I mean, we've talked about Vosh, Hassan, Destiny, Jack Saint. We've scrolled past videos from me and actual Jake and some other people who I don't immediately recognize. And we've talked about other people's coverage of other movies and Anthony Gramuglia's coverage of a completely unrelated show to what is happening here that doesn't really prove anything. It just, you guys just disagreed with each other. It wasn't even about lying. It was just like, there was a disagreement, and I feel like he misrepresented me in this video, and we never went into that at all. And now we're almost 3/4 of the way through, and it's like a sort of half a clip, like I think I would just let this one go. I mean, I don't think Quartering responds this much. He's a grifter. He makes plenty of fucking money. Like, Quartering is just like you can't make the response videos if you're not going to fucking like talk about what's in the other video. You know what I'm saying? Because then it does seem like a little ridiculous. I know they fucking talking about me, but I'm just not going to bring up anything that happened or talk about any of the claims that were made. I'm going to go to one chunk of a 3-hour video.
There are so many.
That doesn't even really conform to the point. And then to say like there's so many, it just doesn't work. It doesn't really fucking work,
Lies and disingenuously framed.
Another thing, I'm sorry I keep pausing this, but who is this for? Like, who are you gonna convince? You know what I mean? Like, do your guys believe you? If they do, who cares, right? I don't think Gramuglia's people are gonna change. Like, is this for like the EFAP people? Like, who is the third party in here that needs to hear an additional? Like, we're on like the 7th fucking response video or whatever. What was that reaction? What exponential are we at? This entire thing has like 20 fucking total hours of video that you have to go and reference to get through all of it. I feel like I could be a little bit overstating, but it's the better part of a day at least to go over all of the information, most of which is repeats and rewatches of all of the rest of the information with like minor amounts of commentary and then referencing another thing that happened before to say like, no, you didn't say that. Here's the clip. Here's the clip. This is the clip. This is the clip. And then him doing the same thing, but then using wrong clips intentionally. So they have to go look at another thing that's a completely unrelated video because he's saying like, well, you lied about me in this video too. Look what you said. And they're like, no, well, let's go look up this video. And you go in it and he's lying again. I think he's just trying to get himself so fucking bundled up in this that you've said so many things that it's actually like impossible to respond to you to the standards that most people would say like in a blush, like, oh yeah, so they just responded to me and they didn't provide any evidence. Like you can finally get to that one where you say like, oh, I don't even care. I can't even respond anymore because there's too much. Like, of course he can't respond. Like I think this is response through exhaustion. Like, I don't know if there's a term for it, but at a certain point, like he's not engaging with the individuals that are talking to him. He's going completely past it. He's making claims that are unevidenced. He doesn't give a shit. And like his biggest own is at best slight misspeaking. And at worst, just him using like inappropriately sourced or like intentionally intentionally misinterpreted clips to try to prove a point that half the time doesn't even actually fucking equate to the point that's at hand because he misconstrued the criticism in the first place. It's kind of fucking nuts. I appreciate it. This is definitely like a new tactic. You know, that's the thing. If I like the commentary, just one more video. I think Shad might have one more video, and he surpasses like the limit. You know what I mean? Like he hits it. That's the 88 miles an hour in a DeLorean. Like it's the 15th Reacception video between two actually like they have other shit to do creators until one of them runs out of time or like audience response to the video. So like you, I think his dare is basically like Anthony Gramuglia is going to have to permanently talk about me and become like the Shadiversity like co-channel to respond to all of this shit. Or, you know, I mean, I guess this one's shorter or like, you know, eventually, well, he couldn't respond to that. So, I mean, of course, you know, eventually he was going to run out of lies. I think that's where he's trying to go with this. It's an interesting tactic. I mean, it's probably going to work for some people in his audience. Every tactic works to a degree. There's nothing that's a complete failure. It'll feel like it if you're looking at it from a distance, but victory is in the eye of the beholder. And if you're delusional, you get to win every fucking time. Flip that.
Descriptions of me, my characters, all the straw names.
I roll super chat $5. W is South Korean won.
Dishonest...
Oh, thank you. Won. South Korean won. Base. Thank you very much. Mutual Aid Miniatures super chat. Is he going to call Anthony a liar for 30 minutes? Yes. Yes. But also other people as well. It's just going into the extreme instead of, I think you've misinterpreted what I've said. Let me elaborate to you disingenuous lying scumbag. That's what people keep memeing on him. He goes pretty fucking hard. He's all the way in. Damn, I missed these supers. Maybe critical drinker, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, I guess I didn't. Or did I just miss that one? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to finish this up so everybody knows I'm...
Deceptive, disingenuous liars go about making arguments and stuff. Gramuglia is a masterclass on nearly every single dishonest tactic that far-left ideological people like him resort to. When truth isn't on their side, they are blatantly lying constantly. He resorts to nearly every underhanded tactic to try and gaslight and fool people into thinking what he's saying is correct. So we don't have time to break down every single one, like when Gramuglia claims I go on an angry tirade about my book.
This got Chad so mad, he went on a 30-minute tirade talking...
Dude, fucking virgin, the virgin Shad attempting to do, like, excessive response gaslighting to make his audience think that he actually had a point at some point in all of these reacceptions versus the Chad Gramuglia tactic of actually wearing just a funny little mask at one point because when he cuts to me, it's going to be fucking great. A dishonest, lying scumbag like all of the rest of the leftists that are in his circle. I'm just a silly guy in a mask. Fuck you, dude. Get fucked, dude. Oh my God.
When this is the tone of my supposed unhinged rant. And by the way, my book's not going to be any for everyone. If people are going to be disappointed, didn't enjoy it, perfectly valid. Very grateful for the thousands of people that have read my book and genuinely love it. I think I've nearly sold 50,000 copies of Shadow the Conqueror. That's including all platforms. And out of all those ratings, it is sitting on a solid 4.6 out of 5 stars. And even on Goodreads, 3.7 out of 5 stars. Nearly 4 out of 5 stars. These are all hugely positive ratings. That's supposedly what an angry tirade sounds like to Gramuglia. Oh, and because Gramuglia is a habitual liar and can't help himself, he also lied about the length of time I spoke about my book, dishonestly claiming that I spoke about my book for 30 minutes, where in reality I only spoke about it for 6 minutes, which I was prompted to do because he went out of his way to disparage my book, as he went out of his way to try and disparage me and discredit me on every single level. Liar. Or how he claims that Daniel Greener changed his opinion on...
You didn't actually provide any evidence of that. That would be the easiest. Why didn't you just point out you talking about it? You said you did it. You talked about it for 6 and he said you did it for half an hour. That would be like, I'm not gonna lie, not a very convincing like lie. If it's just hyper, he talked about it for like half an hour, you know, like that's the statement, but it's just like hyperbolic, kind of like teasing, you know, at that point. I mean, but you can still call that out because he was like, he was being hyperbolic and excessive. And I feel like trying to misrepresent me, but you got to just show you talking about it. Just show the fucking time codes. Like There is almost no evidence of any. Just show him. He talked about it for 30 minutes, and then just show you fucking for and just show the time codes like here to here. That's all you need. That's the whole evidence. Why you didn't even put that in? I don't know why you could get a fucking stock image of the word evidence with a fucking magnifying glass over the top of it, but you didn't even put the fucking time codes in. It's nuts.
Opinion on my book,
I love you
Conqueror, and then literally
so
shows a
much.
clip of Daniel saying he could not remember my book. Not that his opinion had changed, yet Gramuglia presented it that he had.
Shadow of the Conqueror, I remember I couldn't make up my mind on it even back then, and I honestly don't remember the book that well. And I'm just gonna go, I read that because I don't remember it well enough to really give thoughts.
Liar. And what's astounding about just
Oh my god, bro. No, dude. The dude roasted the book. The first clip he used was pretty oh yeah, this is a good book or whatever. I think it was from maybe the first review or something. The second re-review from that guy, the Daniel Green dude, was yeah, I was a new reviewer and I didn't know what I was talking about. It wasn't that very good. But I can't remember it entirely. So the cope goes from and he still stands by his good review of my book to he put it in the lowest of all possible tiers, which is also the technically I don't remember it tier, which if you were a real writer is actually the worst thing anyone can fucking say about your book. Fuck it. If a reviewer tells you, I can't remember a fucking thing about your book, but I'm pretty sure I rated it highly, they just slit your fucking throat right in front of you. You can't remember a thing about it? I can't remember a fucking thing. Oh my god, dude. That's fucking awesome. He found it forgettable. That's what kind of cope even is that? Oh my god, I love it. That's fucking tremendous.
Is that the supposed evidence that he shows in video of me lying that supposedly proves his points literally shows the opposite. So see what I mean about how he relies on the ignorance of his own audience, or his audience knows that he's doing this and they simply do not care. Did anyone in his audience see what he was showing to supposedly prove a point and just actually realize or think that's saying the exact opposite of what you're saying it's saying? So with the examples I've already given of the clear dishonesty, as well as my 2-hour reaction systematically breaking down and exposing him, those are plenty enough to prove that this guy is a habitual liar, as well as this last one that I'm going to mention. So Gramuglia's primary defense in this new hit piece is to call me a liar with no real evidence or substance to prove it, and when he does actually try and share a clip for context or evidence, it often says the opposite or taken horribly out of context and just presented in a wholly dishonest way. But he actually claims that I cut out a lot of his video, with the context being that I took him out of context. He doesn't give any examples of me dishonestly or falsely representing the words he said. Again, perfectly in line with his pattern of behavior, he states a lie and gives no evidence to back it up. And of course he can't, because yes, he's lying. He literally says that I left out so much.
This is what I'm watching him do it, there's so few actually actionable facts here, because if you watch the video, you see he doesn't do that. But no clip. You know what I mean? I have looked at more video clips in this response video than he has. And he padded his numbers with the same Vosh clip twice. And a Jack Saint clip. What the fuck?
So much detail that it became clear that any time I, meaning yes, Shad, received any criticism, I have to twist his words and cut him off every 3 seconds to talk over his position instead of listening to them.
Shad's reaction cut a lot out. Shad is a liar. While accusing me of a liar, he left out so much detail that it becomes clear that anytime he receives any criticism, he has to twist the words of his opposition. He has to cut everyone off every 3 seconds because he has to talk over his opposition as opposed to listen and learn potentially.
Oh, but I did listen, catching him out every time he misrepresented my words, purposely misconstruing what I was saying time and time again, which I exposed in my reaction, and then yes, I absolutely skipped over the nonsense monologue that he would then go into, addressing a point that I never even made, and is saying that because I cut out that nonsense bullcrap of him trying to argue against a straw man, that's
the clip you need, dude. Shad, if you're watching it, that's the clip you need to put in, man. Him saying that was good because you said he said some stuff, but that is his impressions of something. The thing he's having the impressions of is actually the most valuable piece of information, because it is the evidence. I don't know how to say that. That's the evidence of his argument. So you have to represent his argument with his evidence and show how the logic train doesn't follow, or how the evidence doesn't support the conclusions that are reached. It doesn't support the premises are false, or the premises don't achieve the conclusion at the end. You have to repeat the evidence of a claim. You can say something like, you can watch the whole video for yourself. You could do this video. You could do this video and be slimy and basically have a perfect kind of actually your version, not a lie, not fictitious at all, but this response that you're doing, you could have this. It could be way shorter and it could still hit. You gotta understand that. By just going and hunting a few shit clips down and putting them in a row and having plenty from him and then just misinterpreting it is going to do a lot more for you than you just rambling and then not putting the stuff in ever. Like, there's nothing to go on. You're not getting me there, because now I'm just hearing you say the same fucking thing over and over again. Dishonest lying scumbag is I don't know. I feel like that's a revival grunge band from fucking 2019. I want to see that. I want to see them play live, but it doesn't mean anything.
What I did so often in that video was expose Gramuglia for taking my words out of context with a clear evidence, reacting to his video, calling him out in the moment he did it, and then explaining again what I had said, showing from the original video as well, and then explaining how the continuing ramble that he would go on to, which was just self-congratulatory, sniffing his own farts nonsense about stuff I never actually said or arguments I ever even made. You can all watch my full commentary on Mike's Watch to confirm this, where you'll find out that this argument is making, that I skipped so much of the silly nonsense that he was saying, is just another dishonest deflection and tactic he's using to either fool people, gaslight his own audience, and not address the lies that I proved that he had made again and again. So this is the level
This is no good, man. What, do you have it linked at least? A critic who won't be criticized. That's his video. Here's my longer response on Night Watch. Okay, so at least you have that. Anthony can't stop. Here's EFAB's full coverage exposing Gramuglia. That's not evidence of fucking anything. That's not evidence of anything. And another one, Anthony Gramuglia is actually media illiterate, EFAB. So we have two of the 6 videos in here, and then fucking 2 EFAB compilations or EFAB clips that are just Anthony Gramuglia is a real piece of fuck that little fuck. Anthony Gramuglia, you piss pants motherfucker. Well, we got another everything in there. Here's EFAB. Even the thing. Here's my long response on Night Watch to his first dishonest hit piece against me, where I break everything down in detail. Just even give me some time codes. Just give me a perfect example of a lie. A perfect example. No mealy mouth shit. But it really is just it is the show don't tell, as a writing advice, is also, in this case, just for making a single goddamn argument. This is madness.
This man has resorted to in the very first parts of his video. And unlike Gramuglia, I've given direct evidence of his lies. Quotes, direct quotes, and the proper context. Where in contrast, he has accused me of lying several times and just moved on. No evidence. If I'd lied, it's really easy to prove it. Share the clip of me saying it. And please pay attention.
But you can't. This is the you're fucking up your own. You could just lie about. Donald Trump does this all the time. He does this all the time. Okay, look, they gave me this Anthony Gramuglia. I like him. He's a little gay. He's around, kind of creepy. Not my son. Very liberal guy. This Anthony Gramuglia. The people on EFAB, they said he's very dishonest. I watched his video. It's all lies. Literally every part of it. I've never been so misrepresented in my life. It's disgraceful. He's a very bad guy. A bad hombre. Have you ever seen Vosh video? He's just like him. No good. Lying scumbag. I'm not worth talking about. Congratulations on being famous. This is as close as you get. And that's it. That's it for you. That's it, Mr. Gramuglia. Goodbye. And you're done. You can't set a standard while you're talking for proving the lie, and literally in that breath while you're doing it, not do the thing that you're doing. You just said he was a liar. for 5 fucking minutes. And then, like, if he wanted to prove any of this, he would have put a clip in to prove it, but he didn't. And it's like, do you not have the feeling in your mind as a person that makes videos that, like, there is supposed to be something here in the video? Right around here, there's supposed to be something. It's the goddamn fucking clip of him doing the thing that you just said is there and readily apparent, and there's 17 fucking million of them. You gotta put that there. Oh, God, I love him.
Attention to that. In all the examples where he accused me of lying, and I've called him out and showed you, he didn't give any evidence or proof for it, because that's what liars do when they try and protect themselves. They just keep on lying, and they rely on people's ignorance to get away with it. So I hope the examples I've given are enough for any honest, decent, and principled person to know that most of what this individual says has no value, and that you cannot trust anything that he says. He is not worth your time. Neither is he worth mine, which is why I'm going to now continue to ignore him and not bother watching or listening to any more of what he has to say. I expect he'll actually continue to obsess over me because he knows what his audience wants and they don't care about the fact that he lies everything. They just want blood in the water to see him dunk on the people that they are ideologically opposed to, and he is giving them that, and so he will continue to do it, which is actually quite sad. You know, for some reason, I'm living rent-free in so many of these very far left, ideologically possessed, commentator internet reactors. And I think that
I feel like that's also not a very good way to do it. If you want to do that, like, you've got to say, like, dude, fake Republicans, please start taking more tips from Donald Trump so you sound cooler. You got to say what he hates. He hates my freedom. He doesn't like success. He doesn't like hard work. That's why he's always talking about me. He wishes he's actually very jealous of everything I have. That's why he hates me. You got to do that. You can't say, for some reason, just give me the reason. Just say he fucking hates Mormons or some shit. Is it that does not like the Mormons? He says Salt Lake City is very stinky. It is. It's a disgraceful little swamp. Very gross. Don't like it. The temple's not great. Just say anything. The most out of pocket shit ever, right? Just say he hates the truth. For some reason. Just is so crazy after all of these responses. You haven't at least even just made a good one up. I have no idea why I'm living rent free in this guy's head. It could be anything. Say something that everyone can relate to. You're missing that opportunity. I'm not even saying that's the right thing to do. It's a good deal. But if you're going to be a fucking, a little agitprop media guy, you're supposed to put something right there for your audience to rally around so that they can get upset. They're waiting for it. I'm telling you, this is how you be a dishonest political actor, at least. Just at that moment say, they hate our freedom, folks. You ever heard that? They hate it. Have you heard this? They hate our freedom. You just do that, right? And they go, oh, yeah. If you ever listen to a conservative speech, they all do shit like this. Hopefully it's a little bit fucking shorter, but everybody zones out here. And they're like, okay, I'm going to agree with you no matter what. Because the reason you're bringing up his ideological leaning is so that you can use your ideological leaning to ignore all of his points, which, okay. But as a propagandist, understand, your channel is not doing as good because you're really fucking up the grift. You missed the point where you connected with everybody on a common thing. They hate because I think he just hates tradition. I think he's afraid of conflict. Whatever the fuck you got, I don't know what you would say because I don't care. And at least just fill the blanks. But I gotta take a point off for not giving me they hate our freedom, folks.
I think that it might be in part because these people seem to be former fans. That the guy they once watched on YouTube didn't agree with their entire worldview. So now they seek to have their sense of betrayal validated by working so hard to try and discredit and destroy me. But as hard as they have tried, I'm still here. And you guys, so many, are still watching and loving the content. And wow, you guys are really showing up to support as well to get access to that exclusive content, which is phenomenal. I mean, that is the path and way forward to true sustainability and to ensure that I can keep making the awesome sword content that you love. So what I find interesting at the end of all this is that even when proven and utterly exposed, Gramuglia will still have his audience, and most won't even listen to my defense, or they will actually deny the very clear, provable evidence exposing Gramuglia as a liar. Maybe some in his audience will realize that he is a habitual liar, but it does seem that for the most of them, it's all about tribalism. It's about who is batting for their side, and not about who's the one telling the truth.
That was maybe the worst response video I've heard in a while for like a little drama back and forth. That was such a wet fart. That was such a wet fart of a video. That was pretty much just molding. I like, with all due respect, I know it's like that. I wish I could say more, but 30 minutes and you played 2 clips from the guy? Fuck me. There's nothing to it. I just wish it was shorter. I wasted half the fucking day talking about this. I got a fucking pie to bake. I'm not even kidding. I literally have to get out of here and start baking a pie in the next 35 fucking minutes. So I'm going to have to go jump into the next segment here pretty fucking quick. But what the fuck what was that, man? Come on. People need to fucking make good content again. Telling you. Do you know why making fun of Shad is fun? Because it is. It's just great. He's great to talk about. He's always a big pudding. He pops around, blah, blah, blah. So talking about him is fucking fun. And he could still be that guy and be fun to talk about, but also like still have like very positive audience retention and growth by just embracing the act. Like, I feel like, look, I've reported on 1,000 callous political actors in my day. I'm going to have you sit down and this is what you're supposed to do. Okay. It's like just watching him just because I don't care what he has to say because he's not proving it. Who gives a fuck about that? But just watching him kind of like flounder around the most basic, we're the good guys, they're the bad guys. I don't even really have to explain this, do I? But they're pieces of shit. Here's 2 really powerful examples. Even if they don't care if they're lies. Just make something good up and put it at that spot in the video. It's about the rhythm at that point. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then get the call to action going. God, at least you could make some fucking money. Everybody else is talking about you because, first off, it's worth money. It's good money. You do have a massive audience of fucking former hate watchers who are in a bunch of these communities, and they're all like, man, I fucking don't like this guy. I started watching Shadiversity when I was 12, and I thought he was so cool. Now I have a fucking job, and he's a layabout piece of shit. Rah, rah, I love your content. Thanks, man. It's okay. Are you going to do this again? Yeah, bro. Fucking do this. Why the fuck not? It's funny. It's so interesting to like watch you not react to all of this stuff. And also, you're a person that gives powerfully... politically motivated, aggressive opinions on people based on your own moral compass that you believe is better than other people's. So like when you do something, they're like excited to fucking talk about you. That's the case, right? And you're also a certain size. So like all these factors, like, yeah, people are going to talk about you. It's awesome. It's good. But like, fuck, man, you gotta try to do something to like, they're still watching you. They're coming to check the videos out. You could make some money off this shit. The fuck are you doing? Like, you're fucking up your job. It's so weird to see somebody like half in and half out. And the half in that they're in is not at least the fucking money making part. He's like the other hand of the quartering, where quartering is just like the most obviously callous political actor. He just will say whatever he needs to say in the moment and then barely react to anybody fucking firing back. And you're like, yeah, that's it. But he does. That's what people wanted. They're like, I want to be reaffirmed in my hateful belief of something, or something that's really, really like, I'm upset about it. And that's all they want from Shad. And he just will not deliver the right way. Like, you could have turned that entire thing into, if you just restructured, you're like halfway there. If you would have just been like the liberal machine of fucking like, I don't know, kitty diddlers and fucking revenge porn posters, fucking Vosh and fucking Destiny, in the middle of all of this, another leftist trying to distract from the ongoing destruction of their beliefs. Like, listen to me spit. Shad, write this down if you're listening. This liberal menace in the middle of all of these controversies, trying to demean me and distract from the disgusting actions of Destiny by making hit piece after hit piece on conservative Mormon father Shad M. Brooks. Oh, look, play 2 fucking carefully selected clips to try to frame them in a bad light, and then end the video in like 7 minutes. You can't keep that shit going for half an hour and it's completely fucking empty. It's like handing somebody a gigantic gift box and then they open it and then inside is a fucking single Werther's original with electrical tape holding it to the bottom of the box. Like, what in the fuck is this? Thought there'd be something in here, and it rattle, 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 rattle. Like, what the fuck? Are you taking a piss? What the fuck is going on, Shad? Like, dude, your actual viewers have to be so disappointed. They don't care about the lies. No one gives a shit about that. But like, half an hour of that. That's why people are fucking like not subbing, man. That was not a delivery. I never got pissed off. I never got like irritated. I was never like, oh, come on. It's like, fuck off. You know, there's no good ones like that. Maybe just a tiny little bit, but it was not a significant portion of it. You know, you should watch Quartering and shit. That guy will just say dumb fucking shit and it's like 5-10 minutes long or whatever. Asmongold is perfect. 2-minute clip, 15 million fucking views. I don't know. I guess maybe there's some evidence for a Holocaust. I would say I'm 90% sure there was a Holocaust. Boom, there you go. Hey, all right. Just a little bit of shade on the Holocaust. Fucking 5 million views. Based. Good job, fucking right-wing personality on the internet. You did the thing. Shad over here handed a golden opportunity to fucking, whatever the fuck. Oh my God, lefties are trying to like band together and do anything. Say fucking anything. And you half an hour of I'm the most honest person ever. The only way to prove something is to do this thing that I'm not going to do for a half-hour long fucking video while I mauled about them not doing the thing that I would expect someone to do in their place. Like, come on, bro. At least just shorten it. I don't even give a fuck about the dishonesty. Just shorten it. Because, like, the most distracting part is how fucking much of the runtime is you just saying he's a weaselly little dishonest weaselly little liar, dude. He is a weaselly dishonest little fucking liar. Your whole video is just that clip and then fucking Anthony with the fucking liar on his face. Shiniest nose. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? God damn. Cut it down. 5 minutes. I can't believe this ongoing harassment from liberal creators. Even though I tried to set the record straight, this extreme leftist with direct connections to people like Vosh, Hassan, Lolicons, and fucking he was trying to bring me down to distract from the third of their group, Destiny, who's embroiled in all this, and I'm not going to continue it on. I am sick of talking with this person, trying to set the record straight with him, and him ignoring every single thing I have to say. Starting tomorrow, I'm moving on from this, and I know he's going to talk about it again, but I'm going to get back on it, and I'm going to start pulling the lid off of the dishonest can of worms that is the liberal media, blah, 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 blah. But like somewhere in there, you think that you want to live with yourself. You have to give up completely. You've got to embrace the like conservative grift, man. You got to start pissing in your basement and shit. Move to the Shadlands. You're saying all this stuff like you're already there anyway, but like I feel like he has some pretense of wanting to crawl out of it. It's like, dude, you lied the whole time. That's obvious, right? Just edit it down. Save the things, do a narrative, and stop letting it be like really. Gramuglia controlled the fucking story on him the whole time too, because it's like, yeah, you're not going to show anything. I've got to go watch your video, but like you could just put it in there. Just say that your video suffices and it's linked and they don't need to go anywhere else. And you've said all you need to say on the matter. It's like, dude, that's how you put a fucking period. I feel like this is almost bait to try to have more conversation. Like, that's not a bad argument to make, because like Gramuglia's going to go in here and just probably say the same thing. He has the opportunity to now make a shorter video than your half-hour long one and say, no, I'm going to be putting the final nail in this coffin. And then, like, just say, like, he said I lied a number of times. Here's that one clip that I have to go over. I'm not going to talk about the rest of them because they're not even me in those clips. And then he's going to say, this is crazy, and I'm done responding. But if he wants to go again, I'm completely okay with going again about it. I'll reopen his can of worms. Fucking. And then then he's got you. That was the move you were supposed to make. This is unforced error of, like, political chess. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? It's half an hour. Did you watch it back through and you were like, I don't know, like did you fall asleep at all? You edited it. There's so many clips. There's so many cuts. Like 15 straight minutes at some point of just like clips. Cut. You cut it together of you saying the same shit over and over and over again. You use the same Vosh clip twice. And the picture of Anthony as a liar 3 fucking times. Like, what? It's so extra. It's funny as fuck to me. It's just a construction thing from like, what really, which is what I got to start reapproaching shit as. What really did you think was going to come of it? Like, what point were you going to make? And why do you think the point was made? You know, and like, or like, what was the success? What was the success end point for this? It's awesome. What an interesting way to approach the situation is all I have to, I guess, say in closing. God bless Shadiversity and God bless Anthony Gramuglia. God damn. End segment. What the fuck? Shad wouldn't survive 2 weeks of reenacting Isandlwana, and I've said, I don't know how to say that. Isandlwana? Sandlwana? I don't know that. Shad's holier than thou attitude really limits him because he ends up lying and doing it badly instead of just owning up. He just doubles down endlessly. He's such a turbo hypocrite. Yeah, I would think the thing is it kind of goes back to what I was saying at the start when I was talking about like this grift kind of approaching its like you're reaching past. The Ranma half thing is one of the biggest aspects of it because you have to do a little bit of research. You know what I mean? Or you have to walk away after a single statement. You can just say, I bet they'll make it gay and put a chick in it. I bet they'll make it gay. I hear there's a new Ranma coming out. You know, the liberals are going to make it gay and put a chick in it. She's going to be a girl boss. I don't think it's going to be good. And you should walk away from it. You like that's the whole statement. You just throw shade and walk. You're done. But like, you're like, I really stand behind every single statement I made on there. Now you're like really you're really on the hook for not much, you know, like, and you didn't have to bring it up at all. So we're kind of we're spreading into additional like attack vectors for people to reapproach you because you keep going out and it's like, you're maybe he does. This is like actually his plan. It's so fascinating, but you don't have the basic information there. Like, I don't know if he actually understands like conservative right-wing approach, like talking points, sure. But like the actual approach to delivery that you're supposed to use, because a lot of the way that he talks actually feels more libertarian Joe Roganite from like the 1819 area, right? Like you're kind of like flirting with conservatism, but you don't understand how like the grift works. So you just, you know, curious. You said this, but really this happened. But you still have to like at least clip chimp through that. You know, you gotta wiggle shit into place there, because that the presentation of even fake evidence to support your bullshit point is crucial. So if you're trying to approach it like the new wave of current conservative talking points, the American style that he's getting into, you just talk shit and roll is how you fucking do it. Oh my God. Literally, to sum it up, Sam Hyde in the fucking Vivek thing is just like, don't even have a conversation with somebody. Just call him a slur. That's good enough. And walk away. Like, well, there you go. That's how you're supposed to do it now. So like you're just overextending yourself for nothing. Nobody cares if you're right. They just want to hear you say libs bad. That's your people. You're not really approaching them on their own terms. It's just fascinating. Like I don't know what he believes actually.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.